Hey, okay, so we are back for more Nikki, and today we're going to be making the event outfit. Oh, loading in the new area, lagging a lot. But, let me track the quest so I can see what it actually says we're doing here. This one? Yeah, the Inuan, I think it's because last time the way I was saying it was not pronouncing the Y's because they're super turbo soft. So wait for the Inuan festival performance to begin. So I want to be dressed up for this performance, so we're gonna make our event outfit. Now, uh, our mushroom dress is what the gonna be replaced this time. So we don't have many outfits that really fit the theme of this place. So I'm basically just gonna be using one of my Linlong Empire dresses. And then I have no idea what I'm doing for accessories. Oh, I was supposed to look up what the hair piece was called. I forgot. I was gonna see if it was actually called the thing they called it in game, in real life. Right now I'm just looking at all of them, trying to figure out what I'm gonna be doing. Is that a book? That is a book. We'll read that before we make the outfit. Maybe it magically is a fashion book, and they're gonna tell us how to dress. Tales of ink, bond, and dreams. During the Inuan festival, joys abound. Year after year, new happinesses arise. Some joyful, some bittersweet, some worth singing and remembering. Looking back, the memories shine like dreams. Today, I take up my brush to record these festive customs, in the hope that no matter how the world may change, the beauty of this celebration will live on in these pages. A glimpse into Inkville's splendor. As the Inuan festival approaches, old and young alike prepare to make Inuan gifts. The ceremonial dance troupe rehearses for days on end. When the time comes, they dance with shadow and light, their music echoing through the streets. The marketplace teems with life, warmth, and kindness flow more freely than any ordinary day. When all is in readiness, everyone awaits at the festive hour. After the dance, at the appointed time, the long painting is unveiled and the eye-dotting ceremony begins. The guardian of the painting sets out towards his flower grove. From afar, the red ribbons flutter atop long pagoda, dwelling place of the Long. Its mystery without bounds. A local elder, well versed in ancient lore, once told me that in the beginning there were only a few red ribbons drifting gently in the wind. However, as the Inuan festival returned year after year, people's bonds multiplied, and the Inuan grew deeper. The red ribbon twisted and intertwined, unbroken and ever moving. The bonds between people are like countless tangled ribbons. In their weaving, I believe the Long plays a part, subtly revealing traces of his presence, as if to remind us how precious these connections truly are. When the Long is pleased, the painting reveals itself. People gather reverently around at the eye-dotting stage, where the eye-dotting artist adds the final touch, eyes to the Long, inviting them to witness the forming of the new Inuan. Gifts are exchanged, and every face glows with joy. It is so hard for me to pronounce these things. I can't even pronounce them the same between like sentences. It takes a lot of focus. It's hard to focus on the pronunciation and the story at the same time, which is why I had to stop a lot during the actual story cutscenes because it's so mind splitting. I have to really separate it. But okay, let's start this. See how it goes. Wrong button. I always click this by accident, which is hide Eureka, I think. Definitely have to start with dress. When we were looking the other day, we saw that I have one Linlong Empire shorts and no tops. But I don't want to sort by Linlong Empire. I want to see if there's anything that stands out to me as being similar in design. That kinda does to me. Um, I don't think we're going to see anything here. I think we will be going with a dress. I'm just giving it a little check here. No. And there's no point checking the pants because we can't wear the pants. If we don't have a top. Because I think the others are going to be better than this one for what we're looking for. So. None of these really stand out to me. Maybe like that's the closest so far that I've seen, but even then. So then now we get into the stuff that's specifically from the Linlong Empire. So things like this. Now I'd rather not have the event outfit be um this decorated on its own. Which is why I was kind of looking at the other dress. It's not this one. There's somewhere down here. Because with this, I can't really do anything to the arms or the legs. The only thing I can do is add like a headpiece and a necklace. So it's basically just going to be the full set of this. Minus, I think this one is the one that comes with the long bands on the arm. It's been a while. This doesn't really match. There is a blue dress later. No. And I think this is the one I was thinking of using, which is probably what we'll go with. And then this is the new one. I'm again sorting by quality instead of recent, but I'm too far scrolled to change. I will set it to recent. I do like this one, but I think I'd prefer... Because this one still just feels like a combat outfit to me, and I prefer something not combat related. It's because it looks solid. Like, it looks so hard, and I associate very hard materials with protective wear. That's the other color of this. Sleepy gown. This one I was thinking as well might be nice. I'm between this and the other one I had on, so those are the two we'll compare. Closer than you'd think. This is nice too. I've used this for outfits before. I think it's a little more plain than I'd want. I think I want a little longer. A good thing about this over the other is you do see a lot of the legs. So it lets me like do something with stockings or leggings that I can't really do on this. Because this one you can see shoes. That's why I enjoy this. So yeah, we'll back and forth on that in a minute. No, not really. No. I guess we'll have to add this as a comparison to the other side slit one. I should have checked if any of them are dyeable. Cute, but not relevant. So we're down to 3 options. The green... Oh, this one is dyeable here. And the slit stops here for this, and then this is see-through. Does this have patterning, or is it just dye? Just dye. Interesting. That does put it pretty high in the list. And what are you? You are Linlong. What are... Intellectual. Linlong, intellectual. So now we're going to sort this. Like that. So now I can see all of them on the screen at once to click between them. Okay. So you two, I'll compare first because you're so similar. Design-wise, it's almost identical. What about the back? Pretty much. Let me throw on short hair Nikki. Because I need to see how the top looks. Ooh. I actually prefer the top of the back here. How do I feel about this? Like, this does have the clips here to stop it. I assume these clips are like to stop it from unraveling because the cut ends there. But it could also be that this is made for like one size and you pin down to where your butt ends. So a woman who's taller would have one pin here or no pins, and the cut would just kind of naturally go up. That's probably how you do it. And an even shorter woman would put like a third pin. That's my assumption. Same with this. It's probably just you close it around yourself and then you pin down to where your butt ends. Which is interesting. Actually, that can't be how it works because the other side is appropriately lengthed with no pins. And this one is pinned on the other side. So maybe she's just lucky. She just got the one who was fitted for her properly. But if you were taller, like your torso was bigger, you'd have to pin one on this side and one on this side. That's probably how it works. That's my guess. I really like having that open there. But this part is a lot less interesting without this. It's also much... It's hard to tell because Nikki's moving. This is dead center from this angle. I think I'd have to turn it like this. It would be like here. I feel like it's back further. Nikki, stop kicking your leg up. I'm trying to see how it works. This is a tough choice between these two, actually, and I haven't even factored in the other one yet. Which, there is things I like about that more and things I like about that less. But I have to make the decision here first. The fact that this is dyeable adds a lot, but it's such a good color as a base. I don't even know if I will dye it. So I don't know if that will be a factor. Now, even though this is open, I can't really wear necklaces with it. Even less so than this. With this, I could technically put something over top. With this, I can't because it would look weird to have something over top when I have the mesh. It is closer to open shoulder, though. This is a harder decision than I thought it would be. I think I'm very slightly going to lean towards this because of the dye, actually. And now let's compare to this. So, the big number one thing is fully open is great. Is perfect. I love this. But you can't see her legs pretty much at all. So with this, I only have my shoes to accessorize this outfit. That's a bit of a problem. Also, because there's no opening, it's just this color, or whatever color I would dye this to, because it's dyeable as well, the whole way down. And I don't have accessories that are going to mess with the side here at all. With this, we can have color pop in really high up. So on this dress, we can have interesting colors all the way up to here, and then it goes into the arm where I can put more interest. So there isn't a long chain, unless you're looking dead on the front or back, there isn't a long chain of monotony. This one, that's unavoidable. I can't do anything in this huge area. So this huge area is just going to look like this. Like if you covered from here up on the screen and covered the feet, you're just looking at that section as it spins and moves basically forever for the event. That's a huge negative to me. So even though this is an amazing top piece here, I think I have to go with this. I don't like this as much. It is massively a negative to have this mesh compared to if it was just cut off here. But I think we'll try this. Now, the next piece I want to work on, I can remove my filter. Yeah. Before I worry about dyeing, I want to see if there's any leggings that jump out at me as things I'd be really interested to have. Those are a little too sparkly, and by a little, I mean extremely. Oh, I have to sort by recent here. So these are the leggings we got. I like them. I don't think they work for this dress, though. This is a very strange cutoff. I think we have to have things fade more naturally or go all the way up. We might need full stockings. Don't match at all. like I said, this is a real nice fade type thing, but I think it might be a little bit too dark and way too shiny. I could potentially dye these, but I should have other versions of them, right? This is the same thing. Because it's tied to tiers, yeah. Yeah, even if I dye it, I think it's too shiny. This isn't bad, like, color-wise. I'd want, like, a little paler of a yellow, I think. That's definitely not working. That's interesting. That is interesting. It's a little too close in color to this, though. Oh, this is the Crimson Feather. That might be a little too dark. Pastoral Dance. I don't think I like that on it. No. I'm keeping this in mind with this scale texture, because that kind of gives me a direction I can go with accessories as well, having very geometric shapes for accessories. No. Those are fun. Obviously not for this outfit, though. Same with that there. Maybe because it's a little higher, I don't feel as bad about these as the ones that cut off like there. I'm still not sure, though. Nope. Yawn again. I think I just yawned like 5 minutes ago. This... I'm not as against it as I probably should be. There's some stuff going on here. I have to keep that in mind. The 5-star leggings right now are what I'm looking at, apparently. No. The same problem as the other one. That was the upgrade. None of that. Same thing. Oh, this one. It is dyeable. It's the opposite fade of the ones we were looking at earlier. The other ones were light into dark. This one's dark into light. We got to keep that in mind, too. This is the floral memories. Okay. I don't really want full black. I've seen it a couple times. That's the same as the other Timeless Melody. Was it the flying outfit that I was looking at that I liked? Crimson Feather. My combat outfit and my flying outfit right now are the leggings I'm looking at. And this one from Floral Memory. No. It's better. But I think no. Yeah, I'm not sure what color I would use for the Timeless Melody ones. Spectral Mist. Interesting, because it has this type of design. Like the one we looked at here. It's probably an upgrade. Spectral Mist, yeah. But this one has no fade, and this one is deep at the bottom. I'm liking the fades, basically. So I'll probably end up with one of the 3 we've kind of separated here. No. That mesh is pretty rough. At this distance. It's, like, artifacting a lot. None of that. We're down into little baby sock zone. This, I think, is from one of the outfits. Breezy Tea Time. I think this is one of the Linlong Empire outfits, is it? Uniform Cute. Never mind, I don't know what this is from. I don't hate that as much as I should, I think. I don't think it's going to be as good as the ones we were looking at earlier, but that would be an okay choice if I didn't have the other stuff, I think. You could, nah. It's a little too dark, especially if it's not dyeable. None of that. No. Hmm. That isn't terrible. White floral net. It's not dyeable, though. I don't know. That's not terrible. That's a fallback, potentially. This isn't super terrible either, actually. You can't see the yellow bow on the front. The yellow bow might make it worse. Can I do this without, like, flashing Nikki's butt? I think this is going to be tied down tight enough that I think I can. But the front isn't coming up, so I can't see the ribbon. Okay. So, I think this potential fallback, we have... Where are you? You, the fade. We have you, the fade. And then we have our 2 5-stars. And I think that was everything. So let's take a look at this. See how the dyeing works for it. So, is this... Oh, it's the... Not the entire thing. Yeah. If I change that to blue, there's always white here, which is not bad. That's not a bad thing, because what if I take this and I throw some yellow? Do I have any good yellows for this? That's going to be too bright. I'm trying to match, like, this. Ooh. I need something a little more golden than what I currently have. I might not have a correct shade for this. That's probably the closest I can get. And then when it comes to this, what would I want it to be? I need to get this as light as I can. That's pretty light. I don't really want to go into, like, the tans. Ooh, that is bright. Wow. That... I'm getting close to this. I don't really want blue. I just want super light. I don't know. That's way too much. Purple's way too much. Any of the greens okay? I don't think so. It's way too green. And that's super, super, super not what I want yellow. This is rough. Maybe we'll set this one aside for a minute and take a look at the other fade. Because I'm not sure any of these shades are really doing it for me. I like this piece. But... was it down or up? I think it was up. It's not you, right? It is you. Let's take a look at this. Ooh, it's only 1 dye, because we don't have any accessory things. Get out of here. I want to see what it normally looks like. Okay. Very dark blue into the white. I don't hate that. It looks like, it's just shadowing Nikki's legs more. That's the impression I get out of this. Which is interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting to me. Because how much shade does Nikki have on her legs under there? Very little. The color of this almost doesn't change at all. And in the back here, it's not very interesting. Like, this looks like just a blob. It doesn't look like a leg behind a leg. That's not what I wanted to do. No. I will have to undye that other thing, but I'll just, when I click batch save, I'll have to select what I'm actually using. Put that on. I feel like this is way more interesting. Let's look at other colors before I get too attached to that. I still haven't decided if I want to dye the dress, which is still something I need to look into. Ooh. This... That's nice too, actually. Ooh, and this is a little less pink than the original here. It's too light. Let me compare these two. This is... I think this looks better. But, even though the feet, you get back to Nikki's, like, close to skin color, this being a little closer makes it a little more believable that it's shadow. I don't really want this to be a different color. I like this as an idea. Let me save this, actually. Even if I don't use it in this outfit, I like that idea. So I want that saved. And back out of here. Let me exit this without saving the other dyes. That way I don't accidentally save them with the batch save later. Okay. Let's look at the actual dress itself and see how the colors are working for this. Let me just knock that off there. So... it's an interesting texture underneath here. It's hard to see in the very bright spotlight on Nikki. It looks like... almost like golden with some of the light shining here by her arm. But, yeah, that's like the spotlighting. But it is a very nice texture. Down here... I initially thought these clips would be metallic, but they are just string tied. And default Nikki shoes. Let's see which piece is all the dyeing. So this is all the base stuff. This is the flowers. This is the dragonflies. This is the flowers up there. This is all of the trim. Okay, that's very interesting. And what are you? Something at the top that's very tiny? On the back. Is that the mesh? Not the mesh. They're an even darker color here. What are you? What about yellow? I don't see anything changing. Okay. Inside the dress, maybe? No. I wish it just showed a little more poppy. Because I don't see anything that's being adjusted here. I think I wrote that in one of my surveys. Some of these options, you can't tell what the thing is that's changing. That's why I thought it would be the mesh, but I don't think it is. And now, deselect all, go to this. Make this red. It's not the flower, right? I don't see anything changing on the flower. I'm just going to assume that it's Nothing then, I guess. Okay. We'll ignore Area 6 and pretend it's not there. Now, what color would I want this to be? Not yellow. I don't think I've blown this up. What set is this? Oh, it's you. Let's see if I even want the palette before I click to use all my resources on it. So it's like a very white, almost pink white, like a peach white. That might be the palette. It's so close. I don't think so, but that might be like the actual color. That's super pink. Green might not be bad. I don't really like any of these greens I'm looking at, though. Yeah, I don't want yellow. I don't really want orange either. No. I'd prefer it to be on the lighter side. This is promising. Eh. I might still like the base more. I'll just look at my legs. I think I might go with that. Is there something else I could change? The flowers? I just sneezed just then. So their base color is like a gold, right? Yeah. But I want something other than gold that I think I'm going to have a lot of accessories that match color-wise. Maybe this one I could go more green? Ooh, that really flattens it. I'm losing a lot of detail in these big flowers when I click that. Yeah, that is super, super flat when dyed. That's real bad. Is it because... No, that's Dragonfly's top and trim. I don't think I can dye the flowers. It's too much. I might be able to dye these because they probably aren't as important. They are going to lose texture too, but maybe I can just make them stand out a little more. How much do I want them to stand out is the question. That might be too much. That I don't hate. Yeah. Because I don't really like them being the same color as the flowers, so I would like a little... With this, when you're looking head on, you don't really see it as much. And then as you get further to the side, you notice them more and more. I think I do like that. Now, what are these base color? I should keep them the same because I didn't change the flower color, I think. The trim's interesting. We can do a lot with this. Especially because we are trying to make this contrast here. Right now, it's like the pure white. Ooh. This is something that maybe is really dependent on what else I put with this. I might have to accessorize first, and then I can come back to that and see if I like it. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's try to accessorize first. Let's do our shoes, because I don't think much will change with them. I need a little more of the dress-in shot. And I can get out dye, actually. Okay. I'll save, too, just in case. Now, what shoes do I want? What type of shoes do I even want? That's a question I don't have an answer to yet. I should take a look really quick And what type of shoes everyone is wearing. Even the kids here. And you two. Oh, you guys do have, at least one of you has like straw or whatever that material would be shoes. The rest have this like slip-on fabric that's curled at the front. Very interesting. There's one more person over here by the water. I'll take a look at their outfit really quick. What are you guys wearing? You do have that, like, traditional hat, but I can't see your shoes because it's so long. Okay, let's go back to town square. What do you got? Same type of shoe, and you have that tied up, back that I don't know why they do it. I assume it's, like, to attach things to carry, but it could also be to keep the sleeves up because they're, like, fatter, but yours don't look to be fat. Because I thought normally, you would see that cross arm thing in very big sleeves like this that would like keep them held up. Did she have it in the background here? No. Okay. Let's take a look at the shoes again. This is a fancier dress. I don't want to walk over to the festival to see if there's people dressed closer to me, because I can accidentally trigger the cutscene and I'll cry. But there are the two main themes between those. We'll start at the bottom. That's not correct. So, like, fully closed off cloth shoes, and then the, like, stringy shoes. And I don't think either are gonna fit my dress. I think this is too modern, like, sleek. And you're not going for modern sleek, you're going for, like, traditional. I am so... This zoom is so messed up for me. I have such a problem with it. Anytime I'm trying to scroll over here, I accidentally zoom in and out on Nikki. I need to just click drag everything, I guess. No. Don't want any of that. Then, like, you could probably make an argument for this. It's not looking too hot for me right now, though. Especially because of the way the fade works. I think it's a little too light on the feet, actually, for this. Skip that, too. No. Shoes are hard for this. That's way too much. No. I'm probably gonna have to go with something that I'm not happy with. Because I don't want a lot of this. I'm not super against the idea of there being any heels. Even though I haven't seen anyone here wear heels. If I find a design that's like close enough and it has heels, I think I'll accept it. Maybe I can go with this. They aren't dyeable, which is a killer though. It might still be my best bet. Maybe I could make the trim a lot darker and it would make that look better. That's our #1 right now, the Floating Blossoms shoes. I'm not very happy with it, though. And I'm running out of shoes. Those are fun. Yeah, Sea of Stars shoes are very fun. No. Yeah, it looks like we are going to be going with the others. Let me throw them on. Oh my goodness, the zooming out. They should just make this half the screen not accept zoom, because if you're in between anything when you zoom, it does it. Let's go back to the dress. Go to the dyes. And you, and the trim is 5. What if I make it darker to try to match this? I don't like that brown much. Is there a better brown? Not really. No, that's not what I want. No, not that either, really. I think that's too green. Maybe like that. Ooh, that might be a little better. And this is gonna be too pink. Yeah, way too pink. Those two aren't super terrible right now. I think that's better of the two. It is kind of close to the leg color, and I don't know if that's a bad or good thing. Maybe having a little more... Let's zoom in to see kind of how this color feels. This is pretty harsh. This is almost like a pure gray. Which I definitely do not have access to. Unless it's like this. A little darker than that. Yeah, I'm not going to have anything that's kind of gray like that. That might be the best. I think we'll try this. And now let's work on the upper half. So, I do want, I think, long hair, because I didn't like this back very much. So let's actually pick our hair first. So, let's get out of the dye menu, because I want all my hairs. What am I looking for the front? I don't want much of this covered, so ideally I don't want long front things like this. Because I want to be able to actually see this piece and see, like, the mesh, I think. Yeah, like, that I don't like. That has stuff up there, too. Even though I love this hair. And it might be my favorite hair in the game now. Go down here. I'm going to just try to guess if it has the big front things based on the picture. And then we'll turn around if I find a hair I like. Because this looks like it might have some. Yeah. Maybe. I was thinking it might be too orderly with how thin and, like, body line tightness this dress is. To have such straight hair might not look good. This is a maybe for now. This is the Sea of Stars hair. I have to keep that in mind. No. It's also a little too long. Yeah, I don't want it all the way down there. More Sea of Stars. Covering the front too much. No. No. I'm doing it again. I'm scrolling in and out by accident. That's fun, but it doesn't fit. I think we might end up going with that straight one. I'm not seeing many I like here for this. Having the condition that I don't want the front covered does take away a lot of options. This isn't bad. This is probably what we're going to compare to the other. So you are the Jade Dreams dress. I should remember, you're formal. What was the other one? Sea of Stars is... I just need any of them. Formal fantasy is what we have to filter for to get this. None of you, because you're all tied up. Nah, a little worse than the other, I think. Interesting. Linlaw... Ugh, a hiccup almost. I say almost, it was a full hiccup. Linlong Formal Fantasy is what we're going to be searching. Yeah. Too wide, maybe, and it's got the thing on the front. Not terrible. Romance we'll throw in there, maybe. Ooh. It's not as wide as the other. Maybe I can get away with this. I think the other was more interesting. One a little longer than that, yeah. Not bad. No. Intellectual. None of those. Let's see. Romance. Linlong. Fantasy, intellectual. I think that was all we needed. So we were looking at different variants of this. Does have more flowers. At what point do I have too many flowers? I might be reaching it with this hair, because I've got them on my shoes too. This is... The shoes are the front, and there's nothing on the back of the shoes, and this has on the back. Maybe that's an excuse I can use for it. This does add a little more interest down here by cutting in half and blocking the back. This hair might be our go-to, actually. And we'll have to decide what color, because we have our dark and our light. Probably dark. So I'll probably compare this one. I was looking at this, too. This probably is better. Now we had the actual hairstyles that came from Linlong Empire and not just our purity, Winds of Purity, the 4-star purification. We'll compare the black to black. The top's more interesting, but I can throw some accessories up there that will kind of fix that. And then this has... You still get the effect of a lot of the straight hair, but then you also get this tail that I think is going to help out a lot, because this whole section here has nothing on it. From this side, it's not that bad because we have this hip flower, but over here, this is a huge blank area, which it can be a positive, can be a negative. I think this hair might be our one. I wanted to check out the Sea of Stars, though. I think the width at the bottom... I was having problems with top width, but I can still see my shoulders from the back, which is good. I like that for this. The hair does kind of cup around, and that does, I think, make the curves a little better in this. We'll compare dark to dark. We don't have black for this. This is like a dark purple. And our other one over here. Well, is this our second place? I think it is. So, Adventure Fantasy is going to fight against Romance. I just want to get them on one page, which I can't do. I can. I do like both of them. I think I like this the most. I think I'm going to go with this. Now, it is dyeable. Do I want to dye the flowers, though? Because the flowers are kind of close to this. And I like that. Maybe I can get this piece dyed to be more yellow. Let's take a look at what the dye options are for this. That's the whole hair. This is the flowers. This is that. So let's see if we have an option that puts it closer to the color of the flowers. It does change those two, which isn't necessarily terrible if we can get a color I like. But I don't think we're going to get one. I think I like that more than the pink. That's hard to tell the difference. That might be a little better too. No. That one? Still that one. Still that one. This is going to be way too bright, yeah. I'm liking this. Too pink. Let's try that. Yeah. So right now we have 3 colors for this dress. I guess 4. We have this, like, blue-pink. We have this kind of yellowy black. And then this, like, darker gray tan for the trim, boots, and legs. I don't want more black on the top. I want to keep the black away. Blue accessories up top here are going to be a little too close to this, so I think I want some accessories that are this gray color, like the shoes. I think that's the next step. So, save that. X out of here, save again. Okay. Do I want outerwear? Remove my filters, please. That's a tough question, for sure. If I do, I don't want anything too loud. Even that, I don't think I like much. What else would I put, though? No, I can't. That's way too much. Those are too long. If I was going to do that, I would go with this one instead. Let me see about arm accessories and gloves instead of that piece. I'm clicking everything wrong. It's here. Yeah. Bracelets. What would I even put? Maybe something like that that fades up rather than spikes out, because I don't have anything spiky like this on the dress. What are these from? Sea of Stars again. Sea of Stars is such a good dress. And this is Tidal Tears. So this is the veiny stuff. The veins could kind of be like the branches of the flowers. So they might not be terrible. I don't really have anything feather themed. But we do have animals with that. Maybe. So far, I'm also fully symmetrical except for the pattern of the dress itself, which is something to keep in mind. Because I think this is a little more symmetrical. It's not fully, I don't think, but it's close. Nikki, please put your arm down and stand in like a T-pose or something. I'll keep this in mind. So right now we're looking at our feather and our um, title tiers as potential arm solutions. These are just too spiky. This is interesting because of the butterfly compared to the dragonfly, but it might be too big, is my current thought about that. No. The material's a little weird for those. Yeah. Okay, if we go with arm pieces, I think we're at the two I was saying earlier. So for this, I should have 5, right? 5 different ballroom trendy, fantasy adventure. Let's do fantasy ballroom. See how we get. Fantasy ballroom. Where's my first one? Crimson Feather. 1, 2. Tide of Tears, I only have 3. Does that make sense? Yeah, I should only have 3. But I should have 5 for the Crimson Feather. 1, 2, 3. I only have 3 for that as well. Is that correct too? Shouldn't be. I'm going crazy. There's no other way to sort these that makes sense to me. Hang on. Exit without saving. This button. I have all of you. I should have 5 of this arm piece. So if I go, instead of sorting by recent, I just only look at my 5 stars. Let's try that. Five star by quality. 5 star by level. Is that going to still split everything up? It is. 5 star by recent. Tide of Tears, Sea of Stars, Tide of Tears, Tide of Tears. Sea of Stars, Crimson Feather, Icy, Crimson Feather, Ember, Base Crimson Feather. Are they down here? That's so weird. Is there only 3 Crimson Feather hand pieces? I guess. Maybe they just don't change. I'm just crazy. What are these, like, non-dyed? I don't know how to... Oh, that's how you do it. These are blue. Do I need pink in this outfit? I don't think I do. So I'd probably want to dye these. Let me take a look. I don't really want the whole things to be this color. Maybe. Maybe I'm not actually fully against that. Let me check what the exact color was I used on the dress, so I can match it 1-to-1. This one is what I'm looking for. So it was Bibcoon 4, which I think is what I was just looking at. If we go back in here to the arms die, it was Bibcoon 4, so that is the correct color. I don't hate that, actually. But now, what are the... Is this just the whites in here? Is the top part? It looks like it's some of the sparkles? And this is... these, like, drops. The actual feathers on the thing. They're probably fine as is as well. Same with that. It might just work as is. I'm fine with spending 1 for a thing I might not like. That's fine. Save that. Let's make it day. Ooh, actually, let's not. That is very sparkly. So maybe I could dye down some of the sparkle by dyeing the beads into a darker color. We can try that. This has a lot of sparkle too, but not as much as this. That gem is probably what the 5th dye option was. I'll have to take a look at that again. Let's go back in to our dye. Thank you. Is the 5th dye option this gem? It takes me up to the face. It is. Okay. Super white. I made it something like that. Let's try this Silken Lake Emerald that for some reason I already have unlocked on a lot of the gemstones. And we'll see if that makes it kind of close to this. I actually kind of like the natural color of... not that. Of this. Like the feather thing. I don't really want to mess with that. And then this we'll throw on that as well. And let's take a look at slightly altering this. Make it a little lighter over here. See if that helps at all. It is just so shiny. I think I need something else shiny on the outfit. This arm is so dark compared to the other one, and it's better now than it was. But I might want an even lighter color for that, actually. Back to you. Do like 100 menus to get here. Can I go even lighter than this? I don't know. Ooh. Maybe that. That one there, maybe. Yeah, because this is a little darker. No, 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 no. Let's try that. And Momocam. Okay, color-wise, I'm not as against it. Now the problem is how shiny and sparkly it is, which I think is less of a problem. How would I handle that? Maybe with a sparkly crown? Ideally, something weighted and not symmetrical. Let's change the daytime to see how shiny the sun is. If my arm just becomes a beacon of light that knocks out everything around me. Get into a bit of an open area. I'm in the shade right now. Let's go over here. It's a lot less noticeable in the day, actually. In the day, I think this hits perfect how I want it. At night, I don't like the shading of the arm, I think. But during the day, this is exactly what I want. From the back, you could definitely see how dark it is, but let's get the sun shining on my back. Not as much. Okay, I'm really liking how this is turning out. I still think the crown is the right call. I think metallic, shiny headpiece that's not symmetrical is my goal going into this. And I don't want an overcoat. So let's take a look. That's a little too big, and it messes up the feel of the back. I really like this straight with the flowers in it, so I kind of want it to be isolated up to here. Much bigger, though. I want it attached to the head, so I don't think my halo's gonna work. No. This is symmetric. I mean, asymmetric, the opposite. This is the same thing, but on one side. I've never noticed that. Do I want to just weigh it all the way into the heavy arm? That's interesting, actually. I wasn't sure when I said I wanted an asymmetrical crown if I wanted it to lean to her right or left. But having it lean into the arm maybe is where I go with it. What color would I make it? Let me check hats before I, like, commit to the thing there. This is the hat that guy was wearing, kinda. I don't want my wings on this. I love them too much, but I can't do it. This, I think, would work if I didn't have the idea of the other one right now. Same with this. I think I could make an argument for it. I think we do. I think we go with whatever in the world this is. What are you? Oh, you are the 5-star water. How many of you do I have? You're a formal 5-star. Oh! You are the upgraded version. That's why it's the same. You're the final evolution version. The hairpiece extends. Do I use the extended one? It does still weigh this way, but it's a little... It does wrap. I think I should. Because this saves me from having to do anything to this side. Like, I might have to put something here on my ear. And if I do this, and then maybe have a hanging down left-only earring. I'll try that. Let's see about dyeing you. Is it finally going to come in handy that I got the fully upgraded water dress? The only time I've ever needed it? Dye. What am I looking for? So, what do I want this to be? Do I want it to be more yellow? Just all the flowers on the whole dress being... Well, the hair isn't. The hair is matching the dress color. I think the shoes are too. The shoes are just like white. White and yellow. Which maybe we'll take a look at. I don't think these are dyeable. But I think it's fine, even if they are, like daisies. Hmm. This is maybe too blue, but it's hard to tell. And there's 8 areas for us to dye here, so we're going crazy. The hair is going over this, but I think it's fine. It's not ideal, but I think it's fine. Because you're only really going to see that from a side view, and it's only this one flower. Even though it is the big flower, this is tiny ones. That hurts, but it's not accessory ending. Let's see. Centerpiece, right now they are like this white gem. That's fine. I definitely want to change this dark purple, I think. Do I want... No, it's too much. It's annoying that the inside is connected to some of the outside ones. Let's try to find where the real bright purple ball is. This up here is what I'm looking for. I want that one to flash. That. If I make those super dark, I don't think it works. I could go super white, I guess. Unlock all palettes to get this. That's probably like 100 of these things to unlock all palettes. I guess it's probably 18, now that I think about it for half a second. Is it not that one I'm dying right now? It is. This is really dark, surprisingly. I don't want that hard of a blue on the outfit, because I don't have that anywhere else. What about you? Maybe we go with that. Let's try it in a couple areas. What are you? You're the string itself. I don't want to mess with that right now. What are you? You are the lines inside the flowers. Not right now. I'm looking for more of the balls. You are the petals back here. This is pretty much your normal color. I'm just going to put it on anyway. You're the flowers. You're a little bit more of the balls around. And then this is some of the balls and the central things. So now we have everything in this, like, snow white color. Except the flowers, which are in a pretty deep blue. And, like, a bluish purple. Now, because these are so light, maybe I can have the flowers be a little darker than the dress itself. Let me take a look at that. We could also try to get this color. We could see if we could find this color here to throw into some of the lines to make it look like this is more connected. So I should check that. I should check what color I used here and see if I have it. Now there is still some like purples here because they're matched with the flowers. That's probably fine. Yeah, I think my next thing is to try to get this to line into it better. And then we'll take a look at if I want to slightly lessen the flower color. So, I need to go to my hair and check the dye for this area. I used Wind Bloom 8. Now let's see if I have Wind Bloom 8 in my accessory. Wind Bloom, are you here? Uh, Windbloom 8 is what I used. So let's see if we could find this. Windbloom 8. I don't hate that at all. It does look different than this. The shading looks a lot different, so I might have to make it a little brighter. Getting it brighter is not looking easy. But yeah, I don't hate that. Let's look at the flowers now. What was this one? I forgot already. This was the inner layer of the flowers. We have to do that after the flower color. And this is also inner flower. So the two things I haven't dyed are inner flower. 3 is the flower. And this is the center of the flowers, which is like this off color. So let's look at the flowers themselves. They are very pink rather than blue. So, where's our pinks at? Here? Let me zoom back in. I want some of the dress so I can see this blue. Looks like it might be a little darker. How about this? These are very light. I don't know if anything I have is lighter than that. Doesn't look like it. What about the bustle fly? That is. This does turn it kind of gray, though. I don't like that. Because I do like the color we've got here. I just think it's a little too purple. But if I make this white, maybe like a little bit darker white, like this kind of gets a little pink-ish. I don't know. From the front, that looks a lot whiter, actually, than from the side. There we go. Now it's very standout. This is rough. I do not know what I want to do for this. Ooh, maybe something here. That... Maybe. Maybe. And then I can change these super dark... Well, I can't change that one. I don't know what the heck that one is. This super dark blue here. What are you connected to? Nothing. That's just undyeable area. Which is very strange. Why is this one locked? Oh, because I gotta pay for it still. I can't zoom in much more. But what is the base color of that? It's all like white. But I want it to be darker? Maybe. Let me look at these flowers down here. Maybe I could get the gold from Lamp Bloom Mist in the flower itself. Maybe that works. I wish I didn't have this purple. That's the problem. I don't know why those aren't dyeable. No, that... It just isn't that one? It's so weird. that they're not dyeable at all. I think that means I can't dye the flowers, because it has to be closer to that. It has to be a middle ground. I think we can keep this dyed. What did I go with? I went with Wind Bloom, not Lamp Bloom. We can just match that. Let me check this. See how I feel. Now we've got this like weird purple going on. So we're going to be like this in cutscenes. Probably a lot from this side too. I want that one earring still, and then I think that's acceptable. Because over here is going to be the heavy side. And it is very right heavy for Nikki here. From the back, it doesn't look as much. You do notice more here, and it's higher up. Let's check earrings. We haven't looked at makeup either, which will also be very important for that big close-up I just had. But I need single earrings. Technically, it could be just a very different earring. Do I have any? This is dyeable. Okay, that's big. No. The jellyfish is better. Ooh. I still think I prefer the jellyfish. I kind of want a big one for this. No. No. Is that left? It is. Let's go with the jellyfish. Where are you? I don't know if you are a jellyfish. What are you? Pastoral dance. You're probably not a jellyfish. You're probably a cowbell or something. Let's dye you, because I might be able to use some of your base color, because you're close to that. I can probably keep you the same. So let's dye you. And I want to make this kind of more yellow, if I can. So what is the dyeable pieces? This is the outer flower. This is the bell. I want to keep the same. This is the center of the flower. This is the middle of the flower. Okay, so we're going to dye the 3 colors of the flower. This is the hard part. I kind of want it to be like this yellow, but that's not going to happen. We're kind of looking at this. Which one's the good one? 2 is the good one. Don't touch 2. Let's just throw some stuff on here so we can get a look. 2 orange. That's way better. Maybe that. No, it's too much. That, I think, is actually closer. It is green rather than yellow, but I don't think I'm going to have a yellow that's faded enough. Lamp Bloom 8 when in doubt. No. Ooh. No. Maybe we go for that. And then in this one, we get a little more creative. Is this the center or the outside? This is the very center and the ball. Let me do this one first. I think I like that. Let me take a look at this. No, it's way lighter like that. Let me see how I feel about this. Let's get a little closer even. It is very bright. Might be too shiny. This color I don't think is as bad. Hmm. It's a little too bright still. I want it duller. Everything else is a duller color than that. It stands out too much because of how bright it is. Can I get it any duller without completely ruining the color of it? And this is Evolution 1. Can I reach Evolution 1 with this piece? I can't, because I only pulled one of it. This is the pastoral thing, isn't it? So, I don't have an option there. No. What about up here? No. We might have to go with that. To dull it a little. So it's not as eye-catching. Back zoomed in. I think that did help, actually. It feels not as shiny as before. It does still really stand out from a distance, even with like this front view. That's really pulling me in. Which is in not a good way. Maybe it's okay if Nikki's face is a little more interesting, which we could fix with our makeup. I think I want a lot darker of a face, I think is what I'm getting at here. So that when you're drawn to it, it does stand out. And it has to match with the hair we've got here. I don't really want green in it. We might end up using a lot of the stuff from this set. We don't have, like, red there. You know what? Let's do eyes first. Because I think it'll be easier for me to bounce around the eyes. I do not want the eyes to match that. I want the eyes to be different. So I don't want any purples or blues for the eyes. Do I want this fiery red, though? Maybe. I do like those eyes with this dress. That's also interesting. Might still be too close. I think I will go with like a fiery red. And let's see how that turns out. Let me exit out of this menu and go back in so it zooms me in properly. There we go. I do have the feather arms. Maybe this is the best for that. It's got some shine to match with that. I might just accidentally plant my way into the full set of the feathers. I want really harsh eyebrows. Big, harsh eyebrows. Not purple. Yeah, like that. Ooh. Down a little lower, I think, is going to work better. Eyelashes. Again, I think I want big ones that aren't colored. That adds more sparkle, which is probably what I want. To get the tension away from my arms. That might not be bad, though. Because this is heavier and this is lighter. Hmm. Do I want them that heavy? Probably. Let me zoom out again. This is a tough one. It is between these two right now. I probably will go with this. Like I said, I'm just recreating the full set, is all I'm doing here. Maybe I'll differentiate myself with my lipstick. Let me again exit out so I can get the nice close-up that for some reason I can't get myself. Oh, this is the real good one we just got. Yeah, that's the real nice one. I might go with that. I think I will. Let's see how that changes the profile I was looking at before. Okay, that helps a lot. Before, when this was drawing me to Nikki, her face wasn't really doing it for me. But now there's actually some, like, pop to her eyes. I might need even darker lipstick, actually. Because the bottom of her face is super light. I might have to use that. I'm doing it. I'm full makeuping. The thing I try not to. I'm just full setting everything. But that does help. Before, my eyes, when it hit Nikki's face, I was only seeing up here. Now, her face is more complete. I am liking that better. I am liking that. Is there anything else I'd do to this outfit, though? I don't want the overcoat, like I said. I don't like carrying things. It just messes up, like, a bunch of picture-taking opportunities, because it reduces the things you can do. Don't really want a pendant either. Put on my funny backpack. I can't justify throwing my wings or my thing on there. Hat doesn't really make sense and would get in the way. And it would mess up kind of this cut in the back. Commenda. Arm decoration. Where's my new arm piece? This isn't it. Oh, it is. I don't know. I like how heavy this is. So evening it out with this, I don't think I'm going to do. I do like this piece a lot, though. I think this is what we'll go with. It is, like I said, a fancy dress, not a casual dress. So I'm not going to fit in well with everyone here. I didn't even come check on you guys. You're dressed super fancy over here. Shoes. We got one person with, two people with, what is it? Like, I was gonna say threaded. That's not right. I was gonna say braided. I don't think that's right. I think there's a term for it. For, like, taking... It's not threading. I don't know what the term is. You're making the new umbrella. I don't have any umbrellas. That would be perfect. Maybe I'll get one. If I get one, I will use it. Unless it's, like, completely clashing with everything and not dyeable. But because that actually is, like, a big cultural thing, I'll throw it on if I get one that's, like, that color and that design. Please give it to me. Miss, this paper umbrella is made of paper. How can it be waterproof? is not the paper you're used to. Umbrella paper has to be made from special bark paper. After gluing it to the frame, it's coated in tung oil. Once dry, it's waterproof and mold-proof. Even heavy rain won't soak it. I never thought there was so much theory behind making umbrellas. There's a lot to tell. To make a good umbrella, you have to start by carefully selecting materials. The ribs have to be made from bamboo that's at least 3 years old. 1 rib per bamboo stalk. You have to pick the bamboo, make the ribs, thread, weave, mount, trim, oil, dry, add the handle. Didn't he add the handle beforehand? Is that not the handle? I guess, do you mean more like the literal handle you hold? If you count them all, there are over 80 steps. A strong umbrella that lasts a long time and shields you from the wind and rain is hard to make. So when Sway lost her umbrella, that's why she's extra mad. And doesn't want the dull, worn umbrellas. You probably shouldn't leave them just out in the sun then. I guess you're drying it. Maybe it rained the other day, so you're drying your umbrella with the sun. I think I am going with this. Oh yeah, I wanted to check if the shoes were dyeable. I want to make sure. I don't think they are. I think we looked. Yeah, they are not. So I'll accept it. I would change them a little bit if I could, but this is the best I'll get. I want to take a photo. I want a good photo place. We'll grab these while we're up here. There's probably a chest back behind that. Oh, laggy because I'm loading a new area. Not a chest. They normally throw like a chest sitting right here. Unless I grabbed it. Is this the one I grabbed already? I know I grabbed a chest in this town, but I don't remember where it was. You're leading me to the back of the house. Yep. The blings show the way. What are you? Weird shelf with nothing on it? I want to sit somewhere to take a picture. Where can I sit? Show me your chairs. Well, I never grabbed that thing for Momo that was in the tree. He's still yelling at me. I wish to sit. Let me sit. Let's go up to the town square again, and I'll just pose for a picture. I guess I can sit here. This is probably okay. Because we can get some bamboo in the background. Let's see what type of sitting poses I have. I don't want to pull out that. I want like a little bit of that, but a lot of the nature in the background. I'd prefer if you could turn a little to the side, Nikki. This doesn't work well with this current dress. That might work, like over here, because you're kind of leaning more, like that. Cheek bat. That's cutting through too much. I think this one leaned like this. And now we have to frame it somehow. We can go a little more towards the center so it's not obvious that the dress is cutting through. Or we can just zoom in more. Like this. That way I can get a more natural angle of Nikki. For the lighting, I do like this time of day, so hopefully it doesn't get messed up, and I like the shade of that. I don't want to mess up the natural stuff with my hue lighting either, and my filters. So I think I'm going to actually just leave that as is. I will up the vignette a little bit to make it a little darker out here. Turn the brightness down a little too. Can I up the contrast? I think that's okay. Shadows. Maybe I should up the shadows a lot, but not have that much contrast. No, I think I do want more contrast. Saturation, maybe? No. Highlight, I think, is what I want to mess with here. I think something like that is what I'm kind of looking for. What about this? I want to hide NPCs and collectibles. I didn't put Eureka's on this. I'm going to not use Eureka's again. It's so hard for me to justify using Eureka's, and I do really like the dress as is. That's why I wasn't even thinking of putting a Eureka. Eureka's I only really use for silly outfits. That's a little better. I want this to be blurry, but not this. And at 5.6, this gets blurry, so I can't do it. So I have to keep it 8. It's the lowest I can get. Focal length could probably be out a little more, yeah. No. Because I want the legs cut off a little. I can move over a little to get more of this in. Let me get my grid on, actually. Yeah, I want Nikki a little... maybe there. I want this kind of, back, actually. There we go. Kind of together and back. Sure. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, I didn't give Momo a new thing. I'll do that before we end. And that doesn't matter for the picture because I didn't pose with Momo. But I really struggle to use Eureka's in non-silly outfits. Because I think they take away way too much. But Momo... probably this, honestly. Never mind. Momo, you're a panda. I mean, it has to be done. I'm not gonna be the panda, but you can be the panda. It's so cute. I have so few opportunities to use your panda outfit, I should. Rather than just use the water outfit you used to wear every day when I first got it, because it was my first ever, Momo outfit. And I didn't check if there was anything I could craft, which would have made a lot of sense in hindsight. Did I check this first? But I think we're good. I've crafted almost everything anyway, and none of these are like earrings or anything that I could have used. Surprise box. I have it now. Anything else I can craft? I craft all of you? I only had that one piece, but sure. I can craft a bunch of stuff for you. Sure. Recommend. I'm gonna accidentally use the stuff I'm saving. I shouldn't have done that, actually. Did I? Okay, I didn't. I'm almost at Heart Lake Ripples. I'm trying so hard. I will get this outfit. I have so many of the materials, I don't want to accidentally use some and then have to go recollect them. Right now, my Dig Pair Pal is for those 4. So we're getting there. And that's only for 1 copy as well. But anyway, I'm happy with how this went. What I'm not happy about is I just spent an hour and 43 minutes making 1 outfit and I didn't do a single thing. So I have, I guess I'm doing the festival performance in the next episode, and this was the make an outfit episode. But to be fair, I did kind of expect this to take a while because I spent an hour and a half looking at the banner outfits. So I'm in a slow outfit mood this update, I guess. I'm really taking my time. You know what? I've like fake ended the episode like 5 times. That's not what I want to do. I want to go get this weird tree thing that Momo said over here. And then I'll stop fake ending the episode. You. Oh, you're a butterfly. How do I get up to you? Like that. That one I will get, because I said, I think, at the end of last episode that I would get that one in this episode, so I didn't want to be a liar to Momo, because Momo was trying to be helpful, so there we go. Now, I will not fake end the episode, I'll really end it, so bye.